How's it going, everybody? Welcome back again to the city where we are building towers and doing it, I think, pretty darn good. Now, if you haven't seen it, of course, last episode, you have to check it out. If you haven't checked it out, I'm sorry, but you're not going to know what's going on. Okay, you probably would be able to pick it up, but I recommend it. It's going to be awesome. This episode, we got a whole bunch of stuff, jam-packed stuff to do. I thought, you know, let's change up the angle. We've been looking at this tower so much. But yeah, we've got a whole bunch of jam-packed things to do because we're adding in a bell, we're adding in a roof, maybe even 2 roofs, I think is the plan. And you'll see what I mean by that now. And not only that, we will also be doing a little bit of a time-lapse that we hope works because the game crashed at some point in recording the time-lapse, so maybe we've only got a shorter time-lapse. But we'll see what's going on. And I'm probably wrong with everything, so don't worry. Carrying on. This over here is where we left off, sort of, in the last episode. I've added some smaller details around the place. For instance, if we have a look at these little pieces over here, you see the little tassels, we'll do that. These little things here, they are new. This is now extended upwards, so we've now got a larger window. And we also have a few something else. I think I changed something else, but if it's that important, we'll find it. If it's not that important, it's not that important. So here's the plan today, and I'm actually going to go over to the storage room because we need to grab some stuff. The plan for today is build the structure to hold the bell. Add the bell in, add some more details around the place, and hopefully at that stage, we've got a good looking bell tower. And this bell tower, by the way, I was trying to think about reasons. What do we do to actually summon the bells? So I would like to maybe take a little bit of a thought back to what is happening in the world. We've got two places which are kind of tense right now. Well, I should take that. That was not where I came here. What I came here for? I came here for a bit of... Say the block. Yes, I remember. Don't worry. I won't say the block. Blue terracotta. Dang it, I said it. Okay. Blue terracotta in... Okay, I guess here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... And here, I thought we would have some because of the... In fact, it's probably up the top there. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that I've got some blue terracotta up in the chest that I'm actually using right now. So my thought with the lore of what is this bell tower for, I'd imagine it would be pretty useful to alert people of intruders and alert people of maybe a daily routine. So either it could go towards the structuring of the city. Whoops, I just bumped my mic. The structuring of the city. I really need to talk less with my hands. You guys don't notice, but very often I'm like moving my hand and then I say something, I bump the mic and it makes a stupid noise. But yeah, the whole thing with it is we have to have a reason for the bell tower, and I think either maybe saying like signaling midday, you guys are being productive, keep doing your work, because this place it's pretty, but there's this whole crazy environment going on. There's like a whole economy going on in this place. It's just people are working, people are doing their thing. Whereas the other side of the world, people are a bit more relaxed, maybe a bit more basic than this place. That's almost the thought with the two things, but it's not necessarily the main idea of it. So let's just drop down here, go in here. I think I actually did something that... Okay, that's not what I wanted. There. And what I want to do is... Okay, I want to go down here. I need to get these out. Get that out. And put in a little bit of blue. It's important. How did I get... I swear I had a lot more of these. Okay, never mind. We will go here. We will test it out. Over there. Like that. And there like that. I thought I had a lot more of the walls. I thought I took a full stack earlier, but that's alright. Don't worry. It's fine. Add blue. Okay, it's not actually too obvious, but there's a little bit of blue there, and that's to add in the purple, again, from around here. So let's drop in over there. That was a masterful execution of an ender pearl. Let me just put that out there. The purple in these little places, just a very fine... subtle amount of it, but it makes a very large difference. Just getting a bit of color in here. The bell tower perhaps needed a bit less of it. How does that look from there? That'll be a cool little view. Yeah, maybe needs a bit more of it, sorry. Not quite a lot is showing. We might have to work it in at some point. So what I want to do now, because of course this is pretty much the same as the last episode where I'm going to be getting the structure right. It does become a bit frustrating because I'm back and forward, building stuff, breaking it, doing that sort of thing. It's looking very, very different now. I've gone on a building spree. I just went crazy. I did do the 2 roofs, in fact. I forgot about that. Yeah, I did end up doing the 2 roofs I said I was going to do. Now, this isn't a very good angle because everything kind of hides itself this. How about a little bit closer? Now, there is something I don't like. I was using this just to try and be a bit edgy, you know, try and use the light gray concrete. It didn't work. I was just trying to be a bit edgy with it, but yeah, it didn't have the same idea as what I had with it. So I'm going to change it over to a bit of stone, just to look like it's reinforcing the tower at the top here. I know it's a very very stony structure here, very gray at the top and very brown at the bottom, but I actually don't mind it. And each of these have their own individual things I quite like about them, but I just thought I'd point that out. From the front, actually, I feel like that gray actually looks quite good. Over here, that's got a really nice look to it, but as soon as you go to the side, it just starts falling apart completely. Now, we've got a very important part of this bell tower missing, and that is the very bell itself. So let's get into that. And I've got a somewhat of an idea of getting a bell in here. This is where we start. So let's go down here. In fact, no. Wait, Jansey, what are you doing? I've gone out the other end anyway. The time this pearl's taking, yeah, I've pretty much fallen out the other side. Pretty nice place, actually, this here. So what I wanted to actually show you before we go any further is around here. There. Right over there, we've got this very open part at the top. And this is important, incredibly important, because bells need to make sound in all directions if we want them to, which this one does, in every single direction. So it has to have as little place being taken up, hiding that sound going through, if that makes sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to hang the bell and have it over here being held up in the lower open part where you can see just the rope hanging from the top. I think it's going to look quite decent. I get that feeling. I don't think I can make a pearl from here, but let's give it a go. It's actually looking pretty good. Okay, that was a perfect pearl. That's exactly what we need. I'm going to do that, and we're going to put one of these in here. We'll just fix that up. There we go. So what I was thinking, from the bottom, I was having a look at a good place that I think will be to start, and that was on the middle of this. I think would be a great place to use as a reference point for the bottom of my bell. So we do that, get that, and we will go 1, 2, there. Is that the center? No, one more. So that'll be the very center of this thing. And here is where the project gets super cool. And I know you might be thinking, Jansey, put that yellow clay away. You're not going to do anything with it. I am going to do something with it. And you're going to like it. It's going to be real good. Just watch. It's not anything crazy. It's going to be something real nice. And this comes from a build I've done a very long time ago. And I've just taken a screenshot of it so I can actually see how I did this bell. I think I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I get the feeling, because I can't see everything in it, so I may very well do this a little bit differently. But this bell was from my very first series I did on Vanilla Minecraft on YouTube here, which was, if you guys don't know, because obviously the majority of people come from my newer series, this one, you know what I mean? But on the very first one, oh, yeah, probably before jumping, this will be a smart thing. And also, I've just realized I'm missing a block in that one. That's not a big deal. So we'll hop down there. And then we'll just continue on with this. Of course, we do that. Yes, of course. All right. Up there. Attempt number 2. Eat some chicken. Get some hearts. And there's our second attempt. Okay. Now we got it. So the cool thing with this tower is because I loved my bell tower from before. I absolutely loved that thing. It just worked so well, and besides that, it was one of my favorite builds I've done looks-wise. It looked good. It was a big turning point in what I learnt, at least with building, and that is why I hold that thing very highly in my build books of builds I've done. So I want to do a good job on this one, and I hope us changing up our ideas, doing this very wide open area at the top here, I hope that will pay off, because I really do want this thing to kick a bit of butt today. Let's hope so. This is actually going to be the defining moment, actually, to be completely honest. This bell in here, and everything's going to change. Oh, now here is the crisis. Do I go for that, or do I go for the top? I think I'm just going to go for the top piece here. We'll do that, and we'll do that, and there. can't really see it, but I think from outside, we have the spruce as well here, but I get the feeling that the dark oak is going to be the winner for that, for sure. So let's check that out. Looking pretty good. It looks a little bit low from down here. I wasn't even intending on that to be there, but that actually is going to work, that block in the middle. Yeah, I think it's a bit low from here, but let's go out at a distance from maybe the front of the city. You know, that's postcard view. That's what we've got to do. We've got to go back to postcard view days, where we go down here. Let's just check this out from this angle. It works. It's a little bit... It's quite a lot different to what I was expecting it to turn out, but it does look quite good, to be completely honest. Yeah, you know what? I like that. I think it's got a great shape. I think we've got the shape right. There's a few changes we have to make in there, and of course, get the staircase in and things like that. But overall, we've pretty much nailed it with that bell. I'm actually very happy with it. Let's just go up closer and do this. And because I actually probably find, I'm saying this, you guys are on mobile thinking like, I would love to see that, Jansey. I'd really love to see it, but you just hear hogging the view with your computer screens and stuff like that. Here's a bit closer, and I think it's working very well. So that over there was a bit of a worry. Now what we need to do is we have to put gardens in. We have to do all the small, finer details. And to be honest, I actually thought that was going to perhaps be a little bit more of a challenge for us, but apparently we got that done a bit easier. The bell got the right height to begin with. I'm just doing this. It's always looked funny, that piece, to me. I want to see what it looks like as soon as I do that. That's much better. I'd do that before. Yeah, this could be the view. Over here. What? And jump. And that. The reason I'm enderpearling everywhere is because I don't want to go and mend my elytra. Yeah, you know what? I like that. I think that's going to work. What I'll do is I'll do a tassel going all the way down to the bottom so people can ring the bell from the bottom. I think that could work. We'll do the staircase going up, and then we have to do the exterior here with, I think, just gardens. I think a garden will look fantastic. It'll bring a lot of color in it, and not to mention, that's like the colorful area in the city. We can't avoid that. We're going to get to that garden very, very soon, but right now we are going to do a time-lapse, which I spoke about last episode, this episode, and now we're doing it, and I was speaking about it again. This is going to be the whole building, from start to finish. I thought it would be a cool thing to have a look at. I know a lot of people really enjoy these things, just seeing the builds go really fast, and also, I guess, a lot of the stuff that we don't see. For instance, have a look at this. How many times I build this thing and break it down, and build it and break it down, and I guess it shows a bit more of the story than what maybe we can normally on YouTube. So I thought that could be a nice thing to check out. And this is a bit weird. The sky's moving at the exact same speed as this camera. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Unplanned, but very, very cool. But what I was saying with this is it's a whole story that goes on that normally isn't seen. I mean, have a look at that. We've broken it down, pulled it up together, broken it down again. And in between that, we've made, I think, 2 clips as well for the very first video, which is super cool. Now, what the plan is we're going to go through this, we're going to build the tower, we're going to add on more stuff after the tower as well. So we haven't quite finished this whole build. We're going to finish the build by the end of the episode, and in this time-lapse, in fact, you'll see everything. But it's more just for the idea of just realizing how many times something has to happen before a building starts looking good. And maybe that's a cool takeaway. Is just keep going on with the building, and when you think you've done it enough times and it's still not looking good, do it that many more times and it'll start pulling itself together. That's pretty much the lesson, and I think it's a good one because that's going to help you actually get your buildings done. Now, enough about that. We're going to continue on with this here. Let's talk about the shape here. Some people said in the first video that the shape in the middle here looked a little bit too what would the word be, exaggerated with those 2 flares. I think it actually, I don't actually see that myself. Really, and maybe it was just because now I know the end result, but I think it actually worked very well overall with those flares flaring out. They didn't go too far in my books, and I think they did make a very cool change to the building, because that's really a difference of roughly 1 block and 2 blocks in some places at most, and that's not even 2 blocks directly, which is actually quite a minor flare. So other than that, we would be going straight up, so I really couldn't do anything much about that. But the whole thing with this building, and what I loved about it, was It had a real throwback to our very first world. If you guys have seen the first series, which I know most people haven't because, of course, this is the series that got a lot of people around our channel here. And the very first series, I built my first tower, and it wasn't a bell tower. We spoke about the bell tower before, but this was, in fact, just a tower. It had no purpose. It was just to build a tower, and it taught me a lot as well. And this has got a few things here at the bottom which really feel like a throwback to that. This window in the middle where the flares are, that one there, man, that's unintentional at first, but when I realized it, I just kind of held onto it and didn't get rid of it because it really did add a lot more of that feel to it that I really loved. And besides that, just in general, the tower was a fun tower to do anyway. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's a different build, and I hope to do a few more of these, in fact, around the world. You can see here to the bottom left, that canal actually is going to be quite cool because we're going to start curving that. We're going to start pulling that into here because we've got that whole area, and I've left it for way too long. It really has been such a long time, and we have to get into that, and then we'll start adding in the tunnels and all that stuff to work this place out, and that's actually going to be done in the next few videos. Tunnels, bridges, and also just general adding in of things there because we've moved on to the palace. I want to step away from the palace for just a little bit. I've done a lot, as we know, and I think just stepping away from it and adding in these places is going to make the world somewhat complete for the world download at episode 140. That's the thing that's going through my mind right now. Episode 140, I want to have the Nether Hub done, which is Nether Tunnels, because I know so often people download the world and they can't find their way around because, I mean, hey, I do use the world a lot more than anyone else, and that's probably the reason why it's easy for me. Of course, it is the reason it's easy for me. And I guess also in streams, you guys in streams would probably be quite familiar because you see me move between different places. But here in the video, I mean, I never really go through the Nether. It looks ugly, but I can tell you now, there's some good work underway, and it's starting to look mighty fine. And it'll definitely show people the way to each place, and I think it'll be very cool. So now we're going on to this. We almost finished, and we're gonna get going with the gardening. But this one over here, this little piece here, when I was doing it, I realized I had just almost cut the bell out. But let's see, does the bell work? Yeah, we got it. Cool. I moved the camera too fast, and the bell was cut out. But that is a perfect finish to that little piece there before we start in the garden. So the garden, we had some ideas for it, and I saw some of the comments, and we will be adding them in. I haven't done all of these with all the comments that I've read since, but the lamp was an easy thing that we were about to do here, a very easy thing to put in to make the place look cool. And of course, just trying to get the ground a bit more interesting is going to be the next thing, because it's all just plain stupidly green grass, and we can't have that the whole way. But overall, I think the garden actually does add what I wanted to. The colors, the bit of nature, and also just the green is good because it does break up all the brown, white, and gray of the city, which is very important. So now all we're going to do, we're going to add these in, add in a few more benches, the park benches, which was a suggestion. Great idea. And then this little lamp at the end here, which I think is a fantastic little thing to add in, along with the city banners and all that. But for today, guys, what I think we'll do is we'll go ahead, call that an episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.